This information, the Mr. God want to go to your country, Canada, those in charge to your government, Justin Tutor, to receive that. Your government, Canada, is under investigation, ladies and gentlemen, to know that for basically, I bring it to your evidence for your department, Canadian Security Service Multicultural, behind My Future, which is I must writing book with a 100-page harmony crime you discuss behind My Future. This building here, which is I mark you here. So God want bring the attack, ladies and gentlemen, to Canada. Final attack by Japan earthquakes. According to information I have, government of Canada facing 8.7 earthquake in their capital city, Ottawa, to bring in basically their department, which is Canadian Security Service, or their RCMP, whoever was behind My Future casting 1,000 big page, I must write in crime about Canada, what they did behind My Future by this department, Canadian Security Service, and their RCMP. So I must send in this information to the news, ladies and gentlemen, to many people, many countries receive that government of Canada is under investigation to facing this, which is the 8.7 earthquake. God want destroyed all their capital city, wherever they built, and bring their country on the world breaking news for crime they casting behind the internet, which is you can see that right now they're making the internet freeze behind my internet, behind My Future, what they did cost. So this attack, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the government of Canada from January 23rd, according to information I have, to bring in government of Canada under this lawsuit, under this investigation for multicultural, whoever was behind this internet, which is using right now, this internet, multicultural, you can call from Iranian in Canada, behind the security in Canadian Security Service, to Arab, to India, to many culture, to special Afghanistan people behind my case, from their department, Canadian Security Service to RCMP, costing major, as I told you that if I must bring the book, I must bring 1,000 page about Canada crime of RCMP and Canadian Security Service crime behind My Future, what they did, which subject coming here. Ladies and gentlemen, government of Canada will be hit, and this information must go to the CBC News. And according to this man here, you want to take it to news or you don't want to take it to news, God reply you is not his problem. You receive the information today, which is the January 15, 2023. Time is the 3:50 p.m. Your CBC News responsible, according to God, to send in this information to your city news and bringing in the news. We are facing 8.7 earthquake to the Quebec, to the Ottawa, Ontario, Quebec, Montreal, which is the plan is destroying all the building in the Ottawa, the Mr. CBC News, and Quebec, Montreal, especially Toronto, be shut down, to bring in basically lawsuits. God want lawsuit against the government of Canada for this Canadian Security Service building crime behind My Future, and I don't know their name, how many people they are and who they are, really. I couldn't find who they are, only I know from Iranian, Arab, India, or Afghanistan, or Pakistan especially. So all these people, your government give job, and God want to wake up call to bring to the world. They can see that your government, Canada, coming on the breaking world news for national emergency evacuation to completely destroying all the building in your government city you built, Mister, which is Ottawa. Here, I bring it to you, evidence. This is your capital city, Ottawa. Here, according to the God, this bill, all the parliament building be this. What you feel, what you see in the picture. God want gentlemen bring lawsuit against the government of Canada by tsunami.
The biggest wave ever recorded was documented in Lituya Bay in the southeast of Alaska when an earthquake triggered a series of events that resulted in a mega tsunami. History and science books consider it to be the largest tsunami of modern times. On July 9, 1958 at 10:15 p.m., a magnitude 7.8 earthquake caused a rock slide of around 40 million cubic yards in the Gilbert Inlet. Rocks, glaciers, and other debris fell from an altitude of approximately 3,000 feet, and the consequences were brutal. The event resulted in the highest wave in recorded history. The mega tsunami itself measured 300 feet high, but the following breaking wave became much bigger. As the giant mountain of water traveled across the entire length of Lituya Bay, it reached a peak height of 1,720 feet near the Gilbert Inlet that destroyed everything around it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this information, God want to go to the here City TV news, because I understand God taking action in this month against the Canada government. God want lawsuit, gentlemen, about the Justin Tutor gender, what he cost in my future, Justin Tutor, for, I can say, for 5-6 years. What he did cost behind me, behind my future, behind my value to not go forward, which is costing, I can say, few $100 billion damage, Justin Tutor, by Canadian Security Service building Iranian people or other culture. Justin Tutor cost at least few $100 billion damage to my life. So I bring into your evidence, gentlemen, God want to destroy in this building. If my information not coming in the news, you must believe I am false man. And God want, my spirit is here beside the God. They want, my spirit want country Canada come on the world breaking news on the investigation to this building here in the capital city, to Quebec, Montreal, especially Toronto, Ontario, Nova Scotia, to bring basically lawsuit against their government in Canada. And this is the, actually, God want to, many of you can receive that. This is the Canada facing by 8.7 earthquake, ladies and gentlemen, to Canada government, which is the, according to information I have, earthquake already hit Canada, but God wake up call was to not these people basically maybe wake up these people, but we understand, I understand 100%, ladies and gentlemen, Canada agenda, Canada way is not be wake up before. I can give you warranty. I can be my word. I put my blood on the line before this parliament building become this. That time Canada is going to sit down on the floor and they are going to step down. Because we are talking about, ladies and gentlemen, 10,000 building from, not 10,000 building, at least 20,000 building to 30,000 building in Canada be destroyed. From Ottawa, Quebec, Montreal, Toronto, Nova Scotia. Because what is coming, ladies and gentlemen, it is last stand. God want bring last stand in the earth. And bringing government of Canada on the lawsuits, on the investigation, which is happening already, gentlemen, here, 9 point, I don't believe this earthquake was a 9.4 earthquake, this Canada be hit in Quebec area, but I believe this earthquake was a holding back to the city. The earthquake did not attack the city because of this man. I believe 100% they did not attack in the city. But what I understand, this time, this attack coming to the city of the Canada, which is the parliament building, their government city. Wind Point, ladies and gentlemen, government of Canada been found guilty, ladies and gentlemen, for criminal activity behind my future, what they did.
Daily TV. Today we will talk about city of Tofano in Canada. So don't skip this video, dear friends. A very bad news because very big earthquake hitting in. Bad news because very big earthquake hitting in Tofano city. Latitude of the earth.
You can see that gentleman here. This person is crying now. Which is he came to Fort McMurray, cry too. But I can say to you, gentlemen, only one word. This person will cast very soon in Canada, become on the ashes. I can tell you that. Government of Canada coming on the ashes because I did promise to God. Actually, it's not only me. God told He will not let Canada walk away for this decade. Department, Canadian Security Service, RCMP, what they did cost behind my future and did not pay. Last time I spoke to the RCMP department in Yukon White House, I said, you will pay me. You must pay. He told me, no, we don't pay. And I said, believe me, I am going to make you to pay. So my commendation by the RCMP in the Yukon was a cutoff after that. But I believe Canada coming to pay, not believe. Canada is coming to pay, ladies and gentlemen, the last money they've saved into their accounts. According to information I have, gentlemen, government of Canada coming to be destroyed on the criminal investigation against my future, what they did by terrorists, you can call, by Iranian terrorists in Canada. I don't know how many involved, by casting Iranian government, put Iranian government on the hold. Canada did cast that by this man Justin Tutor, which is God want this information go to City News, CBC News in your country to know that your government Canada coming on the breaking world news on the lawsuit, Space God side one investigation to your government. All the building in your government capital city be destroyed, to the Ottawa, to the Quebec, Montreal, Toronto, Nova Scotia, and basically your government must raise bankruptcy. From January 23rd, this attack coming to Canada, ladies and gentlemen, to bringing guilty one who was behind all this on the news, which is the Canada, this building, the Canadian Security Service, this building, ladies and gentlemen, costing between me and Iran basically damage. By Iranian people in Canada, they bring, they give job, they costing between my connection between me and Iran become damage, which is what they do. And beside that, ladies and gentlemen, God want many of you to know that this information must go to the Iranian government to know that Canada sending a spy to the Israel and forcing Israel to attack in Iran. This is information I received, gentlemen, and Canada want to win the Iran, which is they can kiss my ass for a long time. I never let Canada even stand up before he jumped in to win the Iran. So this is the information, ladies and gentlemen, I send in to all of you to know that Canada costing Iran government today terrible by going behind the Israel costing, Israel raising army, by court people, Canada hiring people, and Canada give money to some people, those court people to go join the war against the Iran, going to Jewish people against the Iran, which is I am bringing to you God of Jewish here today, and God reply today to Jewish people, you are dead nation, Jewish, what you did by Canada hands behind my future. Biggest earthquakes, biggest TNT nuclear explosion is raising from the sky, ladies and gentlemen, to hit Israel, to Jewish people. For this crime of the Canada, they put hand together behind my future, what they did. I bring it to your evidence, gentlemen, about TNT nuclear explosion to Jewish people, Israel, for this crime, what they did. So I bring it to you, ladies and gentlemen, these earthquakes happening in the Ottawa, and God want to CBC News receive that to go to the news and send into news we are facing acts of God for this earthquake. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a parliament building of Canada according to, let me bring it to your evidence because I don't want to jump in before God. According to God, ladies and gentlemen, time of Canada coming to the end. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, in the city I am, BC, Vancouver, how many criminals behind my future they are outside, they do crime. I don't know, I don't have a number. From their police to their RCMP to their special, their Canadian Security Service, many crime behind my future to pull me back, to put me back. They say this man went using drugs. Oh, this man is not using drugs now. This man going by lady. This man is smoking cigarette. This man is going to this area. Many accusation. But God told, when this man using drugs, you accuse him. But when this man, he did not use the drugs, you accuse him again. I'm talking about UBC Vancouver, which is the God give to you warning, BC government, Vancouver. You are facing very serious earthquakes, according to this man here. You are facing BC government. I can bring it to you evidence of this man. You are facing, ladies and gentlemen, 9.4 earthquake in the BC, Vancouver. According to the Spirit of God, raising for justice behind my life, which is Canada did many injustice behind my life, to bring in reality news about the Canada crime behind my life, what they did, from their RCMP department crime behind my life, to their Canadian Security Service, terrorists, Iranian, to Arab Muslim, to India culture, to Pakistani, to Afghanistan. All this you can add it, ladies and gentlemen, one shot. I bring it to you here. This information must go to City BC News about Canada. This is a Canada, gentlemen, parliament. This is a Parliament of Canada building, ladies and gentlemen. According to God, he did wake up call to the space angel of the God. Angel of the God was ready to attack Canada, ladies and gentlemen, December. But God told, wait, they did not attack Canada, December. Plan was Ontario, Ottawa, Quebec, Montreal be destroyed. Completely God bring superstorm and 8.7 earthquake to tsunami, destroying, halting the system of Canada, which is a bankruptcy. All the building in Ottawa and all the building in Montreal, all the building in Quebec become destroyed. Two capital city of the Canada is with bankruptcy. Their government is bad luck, fall. So God told to the angel, wait, I have evidence of the angel of the God, which is raising by 10,000 million army behind this man here. They come in by Whitehorse. So basically, they want to bring in Canada on the national emergency evacuation, gentlemen, which is, God want this CBC News receive my information tonight, which is that God want to raise this attack to the government of Canada for final stand about my case in Canada. And I must come in the news. It's not going to be finished after the capital city be attacked and destroyed. It's not going to be finished. It is beginning. I go to the news and explain what this country, Canada, by this department did to my life, basically, behind my life. What this Canadian Security Service did building. behind in my life. From FBI department went to this department. When George W. Bush sent the FBI, they went to this building. To the Obama came. What this department did behind my future. All that is going to come on the news by 8.7 earthquakes to the capital city, Ottawa. But I believe, ladies and gentlemen, before happen, I believe Space God side attacking this Canadian Security Service building by angel attack to that building by TNT. Because this war, when God is starting, God is not going to stop middle of the road. God is going to go to the end, which is He did already to the some country, bringing that country all over, being on the emergency destroyed. Whatever they build, being destroyed. So I am sending to all of you gentlemen to know that government of Canada coming under national emergency evacuation for this earthquake to the capital city, to Montreal, Quebec, Ottawa, be completely destroyed, and to the Toronto, Nova Scotia, to bring guilty who was behind me did this all this crime, and I go to the news to explain about the crime of Canada, what they did to behind my life.
8.9 magnitude. Now, we know that's a big number. It was the 5th largest earthquake in history. But you can only really understand the enormity when you see these pictures. An earthquake so strong it literally shifted the Earth's axis by about 25 centimeters. It all started at the epicenter near Sendai, 230 miles northeast of Tokyo. Shockwaves that gave birth to a massive tsunami that started 35 minutes later, Saigai, the Japanese word for disaster.
This coming to the Ottawa city, ladies and gentlemen, according to information I have, but because CBC News responsible for people, to save the people, they must bring the message. I must make YouTube tonight to send into the information before 23rd of January. CBC News bring information about my video to the news. If I am a false person, this earthquake will not happen. If I am right person, this earthquake will happen. So CBC News have responsibility to save the people life, because this man here, I bring it to you evidence here. This man here waiting, but he know that, waiting to bring the justice in Canada. But he know that he cannot wait longer. He understand 100%. We are talking about God cannot wait longer, because Canada cannot carry on anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Canada will cause Iran trouble. Iran, many people die. You can say government of Iran don't know. They're sending people on the street and killing many people. Other side, Iran become under trouble by God because of Canada is sending a spy, casting behind the Iran crime by bringing 1,000 people out from Iran by money, and they using those people information against the Iranian government.